All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Frank with the midday update along with Kathy and Jack, and here we are about 30 minutes away until the FOMC comes out, and I have to tell you, I was taken by surprise today with the decline we've seen. Typically speaking, you hold within the range and kind of just push back and forth, and especially after the first couple hours of the market, and that's really when we took our tumble was, you know, when I made my comment, time to take a nap, boom. I walk away from the desk, come back, and we've just dropped through support and continued on. And, we've hit a couple of targets along the way. Hi, Kathy. 71.5 was the primary downside target before the Fed. And I mentioned that was, I had 84.75 on top or 71.5 on bottom, depending upon which side we take out in terms of early support. We took out 75s. 71.5 became the target. 67 quarters the next one. And I thought we'd hit that one after FOMC if we go to the downside, and we've hit it beforehand. So the low of the day is 66.5, and now we're below 70, which is a big deal right now to be trending like this ahead of the FOMC. Usually the play when the Fed comes out is usually, you get those three waves, right? That's kind of the typical approach. You get the first reaction wave, the initial reaction, then you fade the reaction, and after the fading of the reaction, then you trade in the initial direction of the initial reaction, if that makes sense. That's usually kind of the approach. So I'll be looking for that to see how it kind of plays out and just try to get something real quick in there. In terms of downside target, since we've hit that 67 quarter, which is the primary downside target for the day, there's two more down there, 63 and 58.75. If you bump up to a daily chart and just kind of look to see what's going on here, 55 is a big time zone. That's big time support. We went down as low as 54 and then bounced recently. And, right now I'm thinking 65s are real big. So if we take out 65s, we could be having a return trip back to support for a retest. On the upside, you really got to take out those 80s, I think, to really get some headway to the upside. But, we'll see how this thing plays out. In terms of the Nasdaq, let's take a look at here at the Nasdaq for a moment. The daily chart shows that we've actually surpassed the low from Sunday night. We had a low down there at 29.5, and that was my big time support zone. 34.20 to 34.25 is my major area of support. I had a circle drawn there before we tipped down into that zone to remind me that's the buy zone, and we've now come a couple of points below that level actually, and got into 27.5. So this is big time support here. 34.20 to 34.30 is just a big area right there of support. Really, if you narrow it down, 25 to 20 is the key zone. So if we break down below that zone, there's major support below that doesn't come in until 33.60. So I think the bulls will want to hold that zone, and especially the round number at 3400. And if that occurs, we've got some upside targets to play to. But right now, in terms of the day targets, the NQ has really done a great job of continuing lower. I thought 34.50 to 34.55 would hold as support, and it just sliced through there and dropped into that next area. So right now, we have 57. That was already hit on the downside. 48.75 was hit. It smoked through every single one of these key targets already, the NQ, and has a range on the day that far surpasses average already, which is very atypical of ahead of the Fed. 46 points is the range right now, as I see it, which is huge. It's been averaging about 33 points. So there's something significant here, and I think some fireworks will go off. But you got to watch that 34.20 to 34.25. That's the major zone there. For crude oil, this one also took me a little bit by surprise. There's some, I called out the divergence up there off that 98.30 and took a short off that zone and played it down to about 97.70 on the last scale. Got a little lower down to 97.5, which was actually a measured move, and then bounced back in the 98s. Right now, 98 is obviously kind of the pivot to watch. The lower high off 98 was great, and right now we're right back at that zone. I think if it gets back above 98s, then you get a shot again at 98.16, 98.45. If it continues to hold below those 98s, Then I have again another test at 97.71 and 97.42, and those are the two downside targets. So it's everything's kind of wait and see. 25 more minutes until the Fed comes out. We'll see how it plays out. Good luck, everyone. Kathy, you're up.